All right, guys, what is up? It is me, Packy, with the House Bowling Reviews, your favorite lefty in the house. Hopefully, I better be. But today we are reviewing the two all-new Obsessions from the Hammer line. We're not really reviewing them. I would say it's more of a comparison video. And we're going to throw this solid one first and then jump into throwing the Tour and see how they compare, where they fit in my bag, and if they do fit in my bag at all. But before I give away too much, these are the two new Obsessions, and let's just get right into throwing them and kind of talking about what they do on the lanes. All right, so as we get into, the first shot, untuck shirt, absolute floor dump off the hand. This is probably shot number 3 to start the practice. Maybe just dump my spare ball up there a couple times. But even from the first shot, the first 2 shots, as you can see, probably playing a little too far right, rolling it an absolute ton here. But as I slowly get warmed up, you see when I'm fully warmed up, I kind of move the camera around. But as you can see from this angle, this ball is super smooth. It wants to hook super, super early. And this being the Obsession Solid, I kind of expected that. So now I'm a little more warmed up, throwing it with a little more speed. But I can kind of tell that I'm playing a little too far right here. And I just know from, experience of throwing these bigger balls that hits like this are going to happen when I try and play 20 with a big, solid, asymmetric ball. So I gradually move a little further left, knowing that this ball probably isn't the most versatile ball in our lineup. Just after, probably the first between 5 and 10 shots, I can tell that this ball is, going to be comparable to a Prism Solid, to an Intimidator Solid, an Instigator Solid. All of those big asymmetric pieces that we have, I just continuously try and throw messengers, and they are just coming up short today. But I can tell that this is one of those balls that, it just hooks. It's going to be great when they're long, or when there's a ton of volume on a house shot maybe, or for those low rev players that really need some extra hook on the lane. This is going to be your ball. Even those high ball speed players, this is going to be your ball. And as we migrate here, this is the ball that I think almost anybody can use. It is asymmetric, but it's pretty unique in terms of, I've honestly just never really thrown a ball like this. The shape that it makes on the lane, the fact that I can miss there, like I can miss 10 right down lane and still strike, all of those things added together just make me think anybody can throw this ball and strike with it. The shape that it does make is pretty unique to not only the Brunswick line, but I just think overall in general. It's the Tour version of the ball, so it is, a little weaker cover stock, a little smoother through the fronts. Still doesn't have that huge snap down lane, which actually is something that I like to see a lot. Since it is that round shape, I feel like I can use it on shorter patterns and not have it overhook too much in the back end. But I still feel like this is also one of those balls where, like that Knockout, like that Hero Solid, I can move a little left and really just jam it up the lane. Especially since this one, like that hit, at least tries to throw the messengers. I can move a little left, I can jam it up the lane, and as you can see here, where that Obsession Solid didn't get around the corner, I'm now playing even further right of that, and you can see this ball really get up the hill and want to drive through the pins. But with the smooth shape that this thing makes, I think I can play straight, I can play in, I can use it on short patterns, medium patterns, long patterns. This is going to be one of the balls that I, stamp as a benchmark ball, which I almost would never do with an asymmetric piece. But I'm going to stamp this one as a benchmark ball right along the lines of that Verge, that Hero Solid, and that Knockout. But we'll talk more about where it fits in my bag right after this. So, till then, see you. All right, guys, so we just finished up watching the shots, kind of talking about the motion that they make. Obviously, the Obsession Solid is going to be, that bigger, smoother piece because it's got that solid, really hooking cover stock on it. It wants to grab the lane early. And this piece is going to be used for those longer oil patterns. I would label this a tournament ball for me. I don't usually need, I might bring one asymmetric solid ball that really hooks if I'm going and bowling on a house shot. But other than that, really, this is going to be mainly when I see those longer patterns or those higher volume oil conditions, that's when this ball is going to come out. And as for the Tour, this ball is probably going to come out of my bag every single tournament. It's like that knockout. It's that benchmark piece. I don't know when I would really see it as like out of play or something that I can't use, or something, air quotations, but it's just one of those balls where short, medium, long, it might not be the best ball, but it's going to be something that I can use, I can control the pocket with. It might, as I said, it might not be the best ball. It might not be the ball that is going to strike the most on the short pattern or strike the most on the long pattern, but it's something that I'm always going to be able to use. And on those long patterns, when they start to open up, it's going to come out. And on those short patterns, if the urethane starts, slopping up the back of the lane, or there's a little too much hook in the front to use urethane and too much oil down lane, I can move a little right, and I know I can be able to swing this around the corner. So definitely going to be one of my favorite balls, one of the more versatile balls, and my first benchmark asymmetric ball that I'm ever really going to put in my bag. It's comparable to that Widow, but just a little less down lane, a little smoother. I don't even know if I could really compare it to another ball in our lineup, but where it fits in my bag, with the other three balls that really fit all throughout my lineup, it's probably going to be in between, hooking potential wise, it's going to be in between that Hero Solid and that Damn Good Verge. So that's where it's going to fit in my bag. And it's got that clean cover stock. I just want to keep talking about it, honestly. But so that was my comparison of the Obsession Solid and the Obsession Tour, and that's where these two fit in my bag. Probably a tournament bag ball for me on the Solid, and probably an every single time I hit the lanes ball for me on the Tour. So if you're kind of deciding which one, this is the more versatile piece, but if you need a little extra hook in your bag, this is the one I would go with. So if you want either of these two, you can find them at buddiesproshop.com. They've always been great to me. They help me lay both of these balls out. I'll show you guys the layouts maybe at the end. I'll throw some pictures up or whatever. But yeah, so that's where these two fit in my bag. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. But I'm sure we'll have some reviews coming out soon with all these Brunswick balls coming out. Until then, peace.